Torero, Street Hustle, back in the UK after my world tour. Something very practical today, a gift from the bottom of my heart to you, to say thank you for either coming to one of the events, watching the videos, coming up to me on the street, messaging me, whatever. There was a lot of love, so I'm going to give back today by giving away my Street Hustle Toolkit feedback form. This is what I use when I'm teaching Daygame. I use it at the beginning of the session, and obviously at the end of the session the student takes it away. So feel free to print it off, it's the PDF below, or keep it on your phone, fill it out somehow electronically. If you are a Daygame coach somewhere in the world, feel free to use it, but acknowledge Uncle Tom, no pinching, alright? Anyway, like I said, I'm going to show you this form, and the message of my talk around the world was my belt, believing that Daygame is a tool belt, alright? No winging it and being yourself in the beginning, otherwise you're going to get the results that you've always got. I believe it's a skill set that you can learn methodically and breaking it down into pieces, learning it bit by bit. So that's what this form's all about. Let's have a look. Alright, this is a student's completed form. A guy that I taught in Cape Town, kindly he said I could use this as the guinea pig to show you guys. So obviously the name, and we talk about how we can pimp that up when a girl asks us our name, a little bit of a tease. Age, and if that's a problem, if you feel too young or too old, again a cocky funny answer when a girl asks you how old you are. Height, we always talk about that because there's many limiting beliefs about being too short. Options there, we talk about this guy, Andrew was 5'9", so it was fine, but we talk about boots and Cuban heels, etc., not high heels. Weight is a big one. It's embarrassing to talk about, but I always talk about it with students. He was 85 kilograms. His target weight, he wanted to be 75, so we talked about either food or exercise, combination of both. Okay, grooming. Again, elephant in the room, you have to talk about it. You can't be beating around the bush. You have to say what you see. So baldness is a common thing, losing hair. So for Andrew, we talked about shaving his head to give him that masculine look, because he was already losing quite a lot of hair and thinking about shaving his head. He just needed somebody else to talk to about it, and to get a bit of facial stubble to balance it out. I talk about that in the book Beginner Daygame. Everything else about the grooming was fine. Style, it was too casual. He looked like he was constantly going to the gym, which can be fine, but sportswear is not good all the time. It's quite hard to pull off, so I took him to a few shops. We had a look at layers, fitted clothes, giving him a bit of an edge, because he had already the potentials to get a bit of a bad boy look, so he just needed a push in the right direction. I asked the student how many cold approaches during the day they've done on the street. He had tried it, between 20 and 30. He had done none indoors. Interesting that. Lots and lots of students have a phobia about indoor Daygame. Okay, then more important practical things. How high was his voice? It was average, some inflections when talking to a girl, supplication. How fast was he talking? Very fast. About as fast as I talk when I do a YouTube video. His speed was due to nerves, obviously. Voice volume, like most students, quiet, embarrassed. As we'll come on to, one of the things, one of the weasels, one of his buffers, excuses was that people were watching, therefore he had to speak quietly. Don't underestimate voice. Same with eyes. His eye contact with me was good, with girls it was good, but we can always get deeper eye contact, more sustained, animalistic, sexual eye contact, not with me, with girls. He was very serious. That's often caused by the nerves, but he had a serious job, serious background. He was a typical logical guy. So we need to turn the serious face, the stalker face, the scary face, especially in South Africa, into a smile, or even better, a smirk. His dominance for such a big guy, because he came across as a big guy, it was weak. He liked to follow. He wasn't a leader. He was apologetic. So we talked massively about this, okay? All right, and then seeing Daygame as linear. That's the good thing about Daygame. It's not night game like spaghetti. You can track it very easily. So you might recognize this as the London Daygame model from Beginner Daygame. Opening was fine. After we got over AA, like 99% of students, it was the stack. So it was that flirtation, generating a topic, avoiding the hairdresser questions, getting into vibing and spotting the hook. He spotted a few girls hooking. Investing we'll come on to, and closing strong we'll come on to. Average length of his sets was 2 minutes, so way under the average of 7 to 10 minutes that a good day game set should be. Even if you get numbers, they're going to flake, right? You are playing a lottery numbers game with 2-minute sets. Then some sliding scale technicality. I do it on a scale of 1 to 10. His approach anxiety was just a bit higher than average. It was a 6, but with me, with a coach, it was okay. He was following them a lot, so never forget Mystery's 3-second rule. You see it and you do it. I also recommended a wing to help with that as well. How strong did he open? 1 being weak, 10 being strong. For his size and his look, it was weak, so we worked on that. It was 3. Teasing and spiking, it was low. He didn't do any challenging, so we talked about that. Storytelling around here, that was quite weak. He could identify the topic, that wasn't bad. He could stay on the topic, that wasn't bad. He was very good at reading the girls actually, and recognizing when they liked him, when they'd hooked. He didn't do any qualification or getting her to qualify. He was very good at the rapport, 8 out of 10. Most guys are, it's the nice guy syndrome. Closing strong, it was apologetic, it was a bit weak. How could he control his state? How was his positivity? It was okay, but typical for a first session, you're very volatile. Then a little bit more technical toolkit stuff. So did he number close? Yes, he got 2 numbers in the session. Any eye dates? No. We did 8 walking girls, 1 waiting girl, 2 girls in a shop, 1 seated girl in a cafe, and no 2 sets. What were his strongest weasels, i.e. the voices that creep into your head when you do day game? His were, people are watching, shoes too hot, and I'm going to run out of things to say. We all have a subset of similar ones, but we all have 3 super strong ones, so identify your weasels. What were his strengths? He was very likable and friendly, which is a curse, I know, but it was good for building rapport. Women trusted him, girls liked him, I liked him. He's a very organised and methodical guy, so when he decided to do day game and immerse himself in this, he swore by it. He knows what he's doing, he's got a plan. And when he was with me and he was relaxed, he was quick-witted, funny. He said he's like that with his friends and his colleagues, so we just need to get him doing that in the stacking. Areas to work on: getting a safety net, a parachute of observations for that critical 60 seconds, the stack. Some spikes, learn some spikes, that's why I say be ready. Of course they're training wheels, you can abandon them, but have something ready to say. That's the observation after the opener. Break rapport, don't be the nice guy, don't be scared to tread on toes. Women love it, they love a bit of drama, they love a bit of push as well as pull. And slowing his voice down like I always tell myself to do, and upping the dominance. Finishing with the schedule, how often to go out. Monday 10 approaches, Wednesday 10 approaches, Friday 10 approaches, long day Saturday 20 approaches, totaling 50. And we talked about some wings that I'm going to put him in touch with. So there you go. That's how organised you need to be. It's a battle plan, it's like a gym schedule. Don't take this lightly and hope for the best. Don't wing it, don't do the same thing 1,000 times, that's the sign of madness. Be focused, know where you are. Like I said, day game is linear. Practice the subset of toolkit, the hustle tool belt skills, okay? Know where you're going and be accountable, all right? So have a plan, an action plan. It's all about being like this with blokes, so we love this kind of thing. You can tell I used to be a teacher, a primary school teacher, but I love it and my students love this form, so print it off and use it. Like I said, if you want to use it in a different form, you're a coach or you're teaching other people, please acknowledge Mr. Tom Torero. Just before I go, I wanted to tell you about some street hustle coaching that I'm doing. Now that I'm in London for a little bit, a few weeks, I'm going to do a Saturday street hustle immersion coaching session on the 22nd of August, and also I'm going to repeat it on the 29th of August. They're day sessions, they're not boot camps, so they last between 12 o'clock and 5 p.m. 5 hours of infield training with a 2-to-1 student to instructor ratio, so no big groups. Going through this technical skill set, this tool belt on the street, in coffee shops and stations and malls, whatever. Finding your sticking points, teaching you the fundamentals or showing you your blind spots, okay? Information about that is also below, so click below, go to my website, you will see information about booking as well. So if you're interested in some live day game rather than just watching videos, get in touch.